You don't need another prescription, facial, or 12-step skincare routine to clear your acne. But what you do need is to understand the hidden connection between your gut and your skin. Because when digestion slows down, breakouts flare. Today I'm going to show you how sluggish digestion can directly trigger breakouts, the surprising science behind it, and 5 naturopathic steps that you can start today to start clearing your skin from the inside out. And stick around until the end because I'm going to be giving you some homework which will completely transform your gut health and your skin. Let's start by understanding what constipation actually is, because so many women don't feel like they're constipated because their digestion feels normal because it's not how it's always been. Constipation isn't just not going for a few days. Clinically, it's defined as having fewer than 3 bowel movements every week, or stools that are hard, dry, and difficult to pass. From a holistic perspective, constipation can be viewed as going once per day but feeling incomplete, or as if there's still more that needs to pass. As well as bloated, sluggish, these are all things that can indicate constipation. And research has shown that 27% of the global population struggles with constipation, and it's more common in women and younger adults. When I work with clients from a naturopathic and nutritional therapist perspective, what I'm looking at when it comes to healthy bowel movements is typically defined as a few things. The first thing is going 1 to 3 times per day. The consistency is a smooth, soft, snake-like consistency, which is around a 3 to 4 on the Bristol stool chart. It's passed easily without straining. It leaves you feeling clean, and when you wipe, you're not wiping for ages. It's usually quite clean. When your bowels are regular like this, then this means that waste products, hormones, and toxins can be eliminated from the body. But when things get backed up, this is when problems can arise, especially in the skin. This is how constipation can lead to acne. This is super fascinating because when stools stay in the colon for too long, toxins and metabolites which should have been eliminated from the body can get reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. This additional toxic load can drive systemic inflammation, which is a huge driver for acne and breakouts. This can also impact your hormones and how they are balanced. Because if you didn't already know, hormonal acne can actually be driven by the gut. And a key player here is beta-glucuronidase, which is an enzyme produced by the gut bacteria. Under healthy conditions, estrogen is packaged in the liver and then sent to the intestines for elimination. When we're constipated, this can increase beta-glucuronidase activity, meaning that this estrogen is then unpacked, allowing it to be reabsorbed in circulation. And studies have shown that elevated beta-glucuronidase activity is connected with acne, but also PMS and even endometriosis. Essentially, constipation can lead to hormone recycling, which can lead to skin breakouts. But there's another piece of the puzzle that I also need to share with you here, and that's the science behind the skin. And this is where things can get really interesting, because we've just spoken about how constipation can cause hormones to be recycled into the body and lead to breakouts. But the other layer is the gut-skin axis. The gut and the skin are constantly communicating through the immune system, hormones, and chemical messengers made by the gut microbiome. In a healthy gut, the trillions of bacteria will break down fibers into short-chain fatty acids, which calm inflammation, strengthen the intestinal lining, and even support the skin barrier. In fact, studies have shown that short-chain fatty acids are a key player when it comes to calming inflammation in the body and supporting the immune system responses. But here's the issue, because when we're constipated, then the stool is staying in the colon for way too long. And this is slowing down the elimination and allowing the unfriendly bacteria to grow. This is a situation called dysbiosis, and research has shown that this gut dysbiosis can increase inflammation and can even raise the activity of enzymes like beta, which we already know plays a big role in hormone-driven acne. On top of that, chronic constipation and dysbiosis can impact the gut barrier. And this is something that you may have heard referred to as leaky gut. And when the gut lining becomes more permeable, inflammatory molecules and toxins can leak into the bloodstream. And this can spark systemic inflammation, which often shows up in the skin as redness, breakouts, and delayed healing. Clinical reviews have linked altered gut microbiome and intestinal permeability to skin conditions like acne, eczema, right? So constipation isn't just a bathroom problem, it's a gut-skin axis problem. By disrupting gut balance, slowing down detoxification, and increasing inflammation, constipation creates a perfect storm for persistent breakouts. And it's all well and good knowing that information and having the science behind why constipation is causing your acne. But I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, what am I actually supposed to do about this now that I have this information? And this is where we're going to move into the next step, because I'm going to give you 5 things that you can start doing from today to support your constipation and therefore help to clear your acne. And the first one is going to be increasing your fiber. And you want to aim for a minimum of 25 grams, but ideally increasing that to around 35 grams. And before you get bored because you've heard this a million times before from being a child to your grandparents, I need you to understand that I have worked with multiple clients who feel like they're eating enough fiber, but when we actually go through and track their diet diary over a few days, we can see that they're typically, if they're constipated, eating less than 20 grams of fiber every single day. And fiber is one of the most important things when it comes to having healthy elimination. It adds bulk to the stool, which stimulates peristalsis. This is the rhythmic contractions which allows the food to actually move through the intestines. And fiber also feeds the beneficial gut bacteria, who ferment it into short-chain fatty acids, which help to build a healthy gut microbiome and improve the intestinal lining whilst reducing inflammation. Without enough fiber, the stools are going to stay small, dry, and slow to pass, which is a big trigger for constipation. That's why aiming for at least 25 grams of fiber, ideally more towards 35 grams, can be a huge game changer when it comes to improving your motility and your digestion. So before you rule this one out because you think you're having enough fiber every single day, make sure that you are tracking your daily intake over a few days in an app like Chronometer, just to check that you're actually getting enough fiber. And if you are, then you really want to pay attention to step number 2, because number 2 is hydration. And your colon's job is to reabsorb water from the stool. And if you're dehydrated, then this is going to be pulling water out of the stool, leaving them hard, dry, and harder to pass, which can even cause pain. Dehydration is one of the most hidden drivers of constipation, and drinking coffee and alcohol can make things worse by increasing fluid loss. But it's not just coffee and alcohol, you also want to think about matcha and even green tea, because those are also diuretics, which are increasing the fluid loss. And this is why drinking 2 to 3 liters of water every day with added electrolytes is essential for soft and easy to pass stools. And at this point you might be thinking, okay, fiber and hydration, drinking enough water and eating enough fiber, I've been learning about these things for years and years and years, and maybe you're already doing them, which is why I want to bring you to the third thing, because this is a hidden factor when it comes to constipation that so many of my clients are confused about or they're missing out on, and that's your nervous system. Because your gut is controlled by the enteric nervous system, which is also often referred to as the second brain. But it's only going to work properly when you're in a parasympathetic state of almost stressed. This is activating the sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight, and it's going to slow down motility. And in some people, it can even shut down digestion altogether. Because think about it. If you're in danger and your body needs to get you to safety as quick as possible, it's not going to be prioritizing digesting food. It's going to be moving that blood from the digestive organs to your legs and to your arms so that you can run or so that you can. And studies confirm that constipation is directly connected with chronic stress. So now that you know this, what is it that you can do about it? Practices like emotional freedom technique tapping, deep breathing before meals, and even meditation can restore vagal tone. And this is so helpful for helping your bowels to move again. So you want to start implementing small things throughout your day-to-day life which actually work to tone your vagus nerve. This could be humming, gargling water, belly laughter, breath work, deep breathing before your meals, and like I mentioned before, emotional freedom technique tapping, and I'll leave a tutorial above because this is a really, really powerful and transformative practice that you can get into to regulate your nervous system and support your digestion. And you can also consider something like yoga, which is amazing for the nervous system, and it brings me on to number 4, which is actually movement. Because physical activity stimulates this peristalsis, which, as I mentioned before, is that rhythmic contractions moving the food through your digestive tract. And when you're sedentary or not a lot of movement during the day, then your gut actually slows down. Research shows that people who exercise regularly have significantly lower rates of constipation. Even walking helps improve blood flow to the digestive system and supports your motility. And that's why I recommend aiming for 7,500 steps as a minimum every. You can even do some gentle yoga twists to literally massage your intestines. But to be honest, before we even focus on any of that, I want to take it right back to the absolute basics. Something that you've been ignoring your parents talk about, your grandparents talk about ever since you were a child. And that's number 5, which is chewing. Because digestion starts in the mouth. And so far we've been talking about what we can do to support the digestive system further down, but if you're not chewing, then everything else has to work so much harder. Chewing is properly mixing your food with your saliva, which contains enzymes starting to break down foods like carbohydrate. If this food isn't broken down properly before it reaches the stomach and the intestines, it ferments, it creates gas, and it slows down your motility. Incomplete chewing is incredibly common. In fact, think about how you're eating at the moment. Are you sitting down at the table and chewing your food? Are you putting a knife and fork down between meals so that you can properly chew the food before you swallow? Or are you spending your lunches eating at your desk? Are you rushing your breakfast so that you can get to work? Are you wolfing down your dinner in the evening in front of the TV? All of these habits are impacting your digestion. You need to focus on small steps to actually improve the way that you're chewing your food. But we can start small. We can start by eating one meal per week more mindfully, without distractions. This can help you retrain your body to properly support smoother digestion. So when you look at these 5 foundations, the fiber, the hydration, nervous system balance, movement, and chewing, these are some tips. Each one directly influences your gut motility and the health of your gut skin. And when you put them together, you give your body the best chance to resolve constipation naturally, which in turn is going to reduce your acne flare. But if you're still struggling with your digestion after addressing all 5 of these different areas, then it's definitely worth looking into this further. Because there may be another reason why your digestion is struggling. And this can be from low digestive enzymes if you don't have the minerals that your body needs to create those enzymes. Maybe you've been vegetarian for a long while. The same with low stomach acid. This could be a reason why your digestion is slower, or even something else. So if you need some help with your gut health or you're getting other gut symptoms like bloating, then I will leave the link to my free root cause realization checklist below in the description so that you can get an idea of what could be happening within the body. And before I leave you today, I want to just give you a specific homework task so that you can really start supporting your digestion from today. The first one is tracking your fiber for the next 3 days. You can use a free app like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal, or simply track down what you've eaten and Google how many grams of fiber is in each food, just to help you get an idea of how much fiber you're having on a daily basis. You want to log and track everything you're eating so that you have an idea of grams of the amount of fiber that you're eating. And most people are shocked that they're getting nowhere near as much fiber as they thought they were. Number 2 is to start aiming for 35 grams of fiber every single day. Start increasing your fiber slowly. Add a teaspoon of chia seeds or flax seeds to your breakfast. Swap white rice for quinoa or brown rice. Add an extra serving of vegetables to your dinner. Keep the skin on potatoes, sweet potatoes, vegetables, and all of the different fruits that you're eating. But don't jump straight from 10 grams per day to 35 grams per day, because it's going to take your body some time to adjust. But you really want to be thinking about having plants with every single meal. And number 3 is strategic hydration. You want to aim for 2 to 3 liters of filtered water every single day. If you're drinking coffee or alcohol, you want to add an extra glass of water for every drink that you're having. And you even want to add a pinch of sea salt and lemon, or even electrolytes into your water, so that you're actually giving your body the minerals it needs to be properly hydrated. This helps your cells to absorb the liquid instead of just peeing it straight out. Number 4 is noticing your stress and eating without distraction. Pay attention to your digestive shifts. Does a deadline impact your digestion, argument, or travel? Is this throwing off your bowel movements? When you notice that you're stressed, take 2 to 3 minutes to focus on deep belly breathing. You can even implement humming to help activate your vagus nerve. The more relaxed your nervous system, the easier it's going to be for your body to digest the food. Number 5 is moving your body daily. Aim for around 7,500 steps per day, and gentle yoga twists and stretches into your routine to help massage the intestines. Even small movements like standing up after meals and taking short walks for about 5 minutes can make a big difference. And finally, number 6 is about practice mindfully chewing. Choose 1 meal per week where you eat without any distractions. No phone, no laptop, no TV. Put your fork down between bites and focus on actually chewing the food properly. You want it to feel like a sludgy consistency, and this is referred to as the chime. It should almost be like a liquid. It might feel strange at first, and you'll notice that it's taking you so much longer to eat a meal, but you're retraining your body to get used to chewing that food properly, and therefore supporting your digestion. You're also supporting your absorption because your body isn't having to work as hard to break down the food to get the nutrients that it needs. And it's also going to support with reducing bloating, as well as increasing the likelihood that your digestion is going to be better. You're reducing constipation. That's the entire intention of all of these steps. But by putting these steps into action, you're not just addressing constipation, you're supporting your entire gut skin. This means less inflammation, better hormone balance, and ultimately clearer skin. Try these for 2 to 3 weeks and pay attention to how your digestion changes and how much clearer your skin starts to be. You're looking for healthy, glowing skin, your eyes should feel brighter, and you should be feeling a lot lighter and having even more energy from doing these steps. So if you love this video, then you're gonna love my next video, which is all about how I cleared my acne by supporting my gut. And in this video, I'm talking through the 6 specific steps to not just support digestion, but also to support your microbiome, increasing stomach acidity, and so much more in the correct order that it needs to be done. So I will see you there next.